Hey y'all, it's finally here. Our Shadow Warriors NFT collection is here, and you can be a part of it right now. Brought to you by the Lightest Sphere Network. Our Joe Art native token is available right now for pre-sale. Grab the game right now. The top line of the description box. I got some dope visuals on the screen for you. So if you like gaming, if you like NFTs, and if you like to make money, this is definitely for you. Go to the top line of the description box. That's joetart.com. joetart.com. Tell them OGOT sent you. Peace.
I want to transition to hip hop and the culture of hip hop, and as it pertains to how hip hop is influenced with political parties, elections, and things like that. Now, we also speak about how it seems as though a lot of parties use our hip hop influence to manipulate, influence whatever you want to use our people into voting for them. Hearing your message and hearing what you are articulating, it would seem as though, from what you hear out here on social media, that a lot of your ideals match a lot of the black celebrities' ideals from what they put on social media. But then we see them and how they kind of vouch for certain people that don't really fit our ideals, and it makes you kind of look a different way. How have people, if any, within South Carolina, wherever the case may be, has anybody ever reached out to you in support? Because obviously campaigning involves a lot of money, dollars, and things like that. That's how these people win. So has anybody from South Carolina, throughout, whatever the case may be, within our culture reached out and said, you know what, Mr. Dixon, I fuck with what you're saying. Let's rock.
Well, I had never even voted before in my life until 2020. And the only reason I voted in 2020 was just to not vote for Clyburn and Joe Crow. I wrote in reparations. That's the only time. Before then, my family's background, my mother and my grandmother and one of my great grandmothers, a lot of people in my family are Jehovah's Witnesses. So I always stayed out of politics because of the Jehovah's Witnesses studying the Bible. They believe we should be preparing for God's kingdom and preaching those ideals now. I have been politically inactive for the longest. I started with just 6 months left in the campaign. If you know politics, that's almost no time at all. I had no money. Never ran for office. No one knew me. I was a quiet, small town teacher in a swampy coastal part of rural South Carolina. So I was brand new. So I say that to say that some people are still learning about me. Even people in my town are still learning about me. However, some, like Charlamagne the Fraud is from Charleston, a suburb right outside of Charleston. He knows about me. He's very active in my area. He's from the Low Country. He's from the Low Country. I'm from the Low Country. He definitely knows about me. He could have reached out to me. I'm not entitled to his support, of course, but this is a man who always talks about he's of the streets meets the radio, blah, 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 blah. That man never once mentioned me. You know why? Because he's a coward. He's afraid of pissing off Joe Crow or Kamala Harris. He wants to brag about being able to get big names on his radio shows. Look at me. I got the president coming to me. So because of that, he knows that if he had me on his show, James Clyburn would have thrown a fit. And then Joe Crow, the guy who raised the crackhead, and Kamala Harris, and I mean what I say, that man locked up millions of Black Americans for just smoking marijuana. But his son's out here doing crack and hasn't seen the day behind bars. So I mean what I say. I want to be very clear. So when I say some people have not reached out to me, some just don't know about me, but some, like Charlamagne the Fraud, knows about me, and they're just afraid of what connections they will lose by having someone like me on this show. Because people who are well connected within the Democratic Party will say, why did you have him on? And they'll never come back on his show, and he won't be able to get these big political names. So then you have people like Lotto, Cardi, Megan Thee Stallion talking about WAP with Hillary Clinton. Nobody care about all of that. Dry your WAP out, put your pants on, stand up straight, and let's talk about Jackson, Mississippi. Let's talk about our people losing their land. Let's talk about our people only having 48% home ownership while other groups are in the 60s and 70s and 80s. And we built the country. Can we talk about something of substance? Stacey Abrams holding up a sign, my body, my choice. Let me tell y'all something. I've spoken to thousands of voters. And I don't support abortion at all. I believe we need to be making life better for black babies to come into. They used to take our black babies from us and feed them to alligators. They've always gone after our children even before they were born. However, the average black woman I've spoken with, they ain't thinking about no damn abortion. They're thinking about, I want to have a nice home for my children to live in. I want my kids to go to good schools. I want to have land so my kids can inherit. I want to, yeah, we know this country owes us, pay us. All they want black people to do is kill our babies, shut up, and vote for the Democrats and don't ask for anything, while other groups, Asians, get a crime bill to protect them. Hispanics get illegal immigrants becoming citizens, which I am strongly against. So a lot of these hip hop artists are sellouts. When you said a lot of them feel the way I feel, I'm about to ask you, is Tupac still alive? Because he's one of the main artists. If he was alive today, I am sure, if he knew about me, would probably have supported me, because he used to talk this type of stuff all the time. But the day, or if we had artists like Nina Simone, well, she's not hip hop, but one of my favorite artists, Nina Simone, artists who were willing to stand on what they said and didn't back down. I think we still have a lot of artists who feel that way, but I don't think they're the popular ones. These popular artists, the JCs and the JC in particular, they sell out. They've sold out. They think them being successful is reparations for us, because he could smoke a cigar and go and have lunch with the NFL owners. He thinks that means we good. He thinks we should aspire to be like him. Ain't nobody want to be like you. What we want and what we deserve are our reparations. And it is unforgivable for any person who's a descendant of American slave, any black person, even a black immigrant who's come to this country, any immigrant, because you're only able to do that because of black Americans. Any black person that's made it in this country, you've only made it because other black Americans fought and died and sacrificed. You show me any black American that's made it, and I will show you a whole community of black Americans who somehow supported them along the way, fed them, loved them, gave them words of encouragement, protected them. And for you to think that because you made it, your responsibility is only to yourself, no. We are a people that have always known, if I make it, I ain't made it until all of us have made it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these hip hop artists are sellouts. A lot of them are scared to death, piss pants level scared of losing connections. And the ones like Tupac are unfortunately dead, or the underground artists who may not have the same platform as the bigger name artists.
If you can, I don't know if you can, but if you can, talk about Kanye West. And not only what he said, but a lot of the black people attacking him.